I feel like my life has been constantly full of these holes, right? These holes I can't get rid of. And to this day, I mean, again, I'm very honest. Like I struggle very much with depression still. And I think I hide that pretty well. I want to believe I hide it pretty well. I was diagnosed back then with being bipolar and a manic depressant or depression. And I said I have a chemical imbalance, and I had taken very heavy meds for quite some time. And then around 18 and 19 and 20 years old, I threw them in a cornfield and was like, I'm never taking these again. And I haven't. So I haven't taken any medication for 20 years. And I'm sure there's days that I need it. But I wholeheartedly think that for me to overcome this whole battle, whether it's to filling these holes or so on, is I have to do this on my own. I feel like I have this whole thing. I have to do it on my own. There's probably some people listening that are like, no, you're wrong. They're probably right. But I think everybody's got their own choice, and that's, one of mine. But, so still to this day, I struggle with these things, and here, me and my mom don't speak, and that really bothers me. It's very hard for me. I think where I'm at now as a almost 40-year-old is that I've really I've been trying to open myself up to like really looking at the whole picture. And I feel like, all right, she's got this family of her own. And she has my 2 half brothers and my half sister and her husband and, their whole family. And then there's me. Right. And when we're there, or had been there, like there's sometimes just, they don't mean to do this, I think, but when you hear it, like, my brother had a baby and, they'll say things like, oh, we finally have a grandkid. And I'm like, what, dude, I've had a kid for 16 years. Yeah. Like, he's your grandkid, you know? And I don't think they don't think that way, but these little things like weigh on you. And, I've never really felt like I belong. And at the same time, I think it's probably unfair for me to think that, or to feel like I should.
Right.
I have a family. I'm a Schroeder. I'm proud of it. My mom and dad, again, are the greatest people on the planet. And, they gave me a home when somebody else couldn't. And, they've taught me so many beautiful lessons. And so but at the same time, as an adopted child, and I pray to the good Lord that your kids don't feel this way. But I just feel so double-edged, that I'm so grateful for what I have, and I'm grateful that I was adopted to the right people. I'm sure that there's people in my situation that got a real bum deal, and I've met some of those people, and it breaks my heart. And there's obviously foster care and all this stuff. So, I mean, there's so many different things that could have happened for me. And like I said earlier, I'd really like to try to open up myself to really think. Like, I break down these things in my head when I'm driving and stuff. Like, if my mom didn't go to the doctor on that one day that this Dr. LaValle told them, like, hey, I have this girl having a baby. Right. Like, maybe he wouldn't have told him, right? And I wouldn't be here with you. Right. So, like, obviously there'd be a whole chunk of things missing in the middle. And so, somewhat long story short, I feel like how much, like, tying it into like photography, right? So I feel like I had all this time as a child where I have all these pictures of me, whether I was smiling or not, with a family that wasn't really mine. And I don't think that way now. But growing up, I felt like it was just a facade, or it was fake, and these didn't mean anything to me, right? These pictures didn't mean a thing to me. And as I became a little clearer, and 10 years ago, you start to look at old pictures of things, I came across this Polaroid of me and my brother. I'm probably going to cry. And me and my brother were never, we weren't real close growing up. But he's holding my hand, and I'm in like a Snoopy shirt, and I've got these big tall socks on and this funny grin, and I had hair. If you know me, I don't have hair now. And it was such a happy moment, and I didn't think about it. Like, I felt like, how could I have thought the way I did for so long? To have like that one picture just clear so much for me. And so, you know, as a photographer, I think we take that for granted a lot too. I don't think we understand how much things we shoot or photograph or whatever, or capture or make or whatever, mean to the person that has it, right? So I have a crappy Polaroid that's somewhat blurry from 1983, and it's I luckily my mom for some reason had like 2 or 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them I should say, and I took all of them and I cut them up and I put them in little frames and I gave them to myself for Christmas, and then my mom and my brother, and like even my mom's, it's like, why this picture, you know? And I don't think I've ever really sat down and told her, but like she knows, like I'm sure she understands that, like, for me, that's just such a clarity for me to look at this one image and remind myself that, you know, it's part of a family.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this conversation presented by White House Custom Color on YouTube. Be sure to check out our other content and click that subscribe button right there. Right. Right there. It's there somewhere.